Making rounds on social media for the past few days has been videos of illegal mining operators resuming activities on the river Ankobra, the river which was gradually returning to its former glory after a special military task force halted activities of the illegal miners months ago. Is now losing its color due to fresh pollutions. Assuring Ghanaians of government commitment on dealing with the menace, Lands and Natural Resource Minister John Jinapong says his team has moved into the area and offenders will not be spared. He was speaking at the inauguration of an advisory board for the ministry.
So, Nana, honorable members, I can't say it enough. We are counting on you, and I'm very confident that given the experience, the expertise, and the stature of the people we've been lucky to assemble around this table, we have politicians, we have members of parliament, we have bureaucrats, we have academics, a person, the vice chancellor of the KNUST, we have a distinguished chief, we have public servants, we have a lawyer, we have somebody who has been in media for many years, who's seen it all. And so I am very confident that if you put your hearts and minds together and work as a team, I believe you'll be able to guide me and give me all the necessary advice, which will result in us resolving the concrete issues relating to the lands and natural resources of our country, and which will be to the benefit of the good people of our country. And as we say in Ghana, you have to hit the ground running because the issues are staring us in our faces. We've been dealing with the issue of River Ankobra, for instance, where yesterday we've had to authorize a special operation on River Ankobra, and I must say I'm very happy that the operation has gone successfully, and we're going to do a lot more. The matters to do with small-scale mining, galamsey, illegal mining, we've said it many times, the president is fully committed, the ministry is fully committed. It's not going to be won by just one stroke of an intervention. We need a sustained effort, and we are determined to do that. And we're going to count on you to advise us accordingly. Where we have to make amends, you should let us know. Where we have to strengthen our interventions, you should please let us know. And together, I believe that we'll be able to formulate policies and implement them for the good of our beloved Haitians.
And joining me for a conversation on this is Deputy Lands and Natural Resources Minister George Miracle Duka. I'm grateful for your time this afternoon. Let's get more on the operation to rid our water bodies of illegal miners. Well, before we talk about that, but has it come to your notice that illegal miners are back to the places that has been declared as forbidding for illegal mining?
Let me say good afternoon to your cherished viewers itself. Yes, we had the information about 3 days ago about the invasion of Ankobra specifically, and we dispatched a team of security men to be on board. And fortunately for us, some people were immediately apprehended. Some chamfine machines were bent. And we leaving no stone unturned. We're working tirelessly to ensure that these recalcitrants are dealt with. It's unfortunate that, irrespective of the efforts we are making, people are still
it looks like there's a terrible connection.
Extremely into their own hands.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
go ahead. Go ahead. It's better now.
Yeah. Yes. So we're working tirelessly to really, arrest some of these perpetrators. The fight of this is not an event. It's a process. We'll continue to fight and ensure that we clean our river bodies and bring the perpetrators to book. So it needs collective efforts of all. As I speak with you, the men are on the ground. They are patrolling Ankobra and that of Offenso. And the next action I may not be able to share with you on air, but we continue to fight them. Let's leave our river bodies let's make sure that if you are mining, then you mine responsibly and stop mining the river bodies. It's very uncalled for, and using the medium to sound caution to all those who are mining our river bodies and those having intention to do so. The law will not spare you if you are caught this time around.
So you and your minister assured us that we were not going to get back here. Now we are told that the River Nkobra, which was gaining its glory back, is being polluted again. Didn't you put in place monitoring mechanisms, knowing the kind of people you were dealing with?
After the national dialogue, where we shared experiences, views with other interested stakeholders, we indicated and initiated the view of making sure that people at the local level are being tasked to manage some of these occurrences. Like the RESEC is now mandated to be monitoring and evaluating events like this. The RESEC also mandates the respective DISEC and MISEC also to be going around, also to be monitoring. So we receive reports at the center. And Nkobra, as you rightly mentioned, was gaining its past glory just about a week, and they used about 3 days to invade the place. But thankfully, we got wind of and we rushed to the scene, and the situation has been really attended to. So it's kind of people having foreigners, information that we have so far. These people, recalcitrants, mostly are not Ghanaians. They commute from other, neighboring countries. They come here and don't have the nation at heart. They just, get some fine and start mining the river bodies. Now, the next move is to arrest whoever is manufacturing chamfine. Even if you're doing it at home, he will be apprehended, because after all, chamfine is not made to run on the highway. Chamfine is only, molded to be put on a river body. So if you are caught anywhere assembling such machine, you'll be arrested. And that is a strategy that we are adopting now. So we'll tackle the canker from the doorstep of the perpetrators and not even allow them to get them to the river bodies.
Mr. Duka, this is not only on the River Nkobra. If you go to Donka on Ofinso, there are similar challenges there where the water has really deteriorated. I mean, is it the matter of you going to sleep when you realize that parts of the water bodies were clearing?
If you know the architecture of their operations, you really appreciate the efforts of the security men. These people, without even thinking through, as you move from Ofinso, they meet you at Bonsa River. As you move on Bonsa River, some meet you on Nkobra. As you move on Nkobra, then they get to other jurisdictions. So it's not a matter of being able to fight it in a day. They follow you up, track you, and so on. They have their own ramifications of operations. But as I said, we are really on the ground. It's not a matter of going to sleep. It's a matter of monitoring. If we had not been monitoring all this while, I can tell you the situation would have been worse. So the security men, let me commend them for the efforts. But we will also need, all as you just mentioned, we have a situational, call set up where when we get this, we move, instantly to address the situation. So we depend on information like what you have just relayed to me. And with this, we will let the men on the ground patrol, see that indeed there are people working along the river banks. So it's a collective effort. It's not something that someone can just stay back and say, yes, do it. If you saying you've done it, let's see what you've done, and so on and so forth. Let's continue fighting this canker together. If you have any information, I will find time, put out all the details, the numbers on your screen. Probably we can do that, constantly appearing. Probably I'll have an airtime with you, and then we can be sharing our numbers to whoever will be watching you, so that we can also be attending to some of these challenges. So we are just a phone call away from your outfit.
So what's next? With regards to our fight against Galamsey, now that we're getting to hear that some illegal miners are going back to those areas.
Now, Minister has just sanctioned even central command to be on the ground. And as I tell you, or as I speak with you, they are embarking on some operations elsewhere that I will not announce. We are not resting. We will be on the ground at all times. The fight is not over yet, and we'll continue fighting these illegal miners who have this nation, who don't have this nation at heart.
Is there a plan? Is there a plan? Is there a plan?
Yes. Our plan is to collaborate with this small scale mining association, which is a well-established association, having a task force on the ground. This time around, we are collaborating with them. Another plan is to also decentralize the operational system and be working closely with the RESEC and the MUSEC and the DISECs in their respective district and regions. So we have a whole composite arrangement that we're doing, and I can tell you we are available and ready to work to fight this canker.
Well, the small-scale miners themselves have, said that they would help and support you to do this. How are you collaborating with those?
Yes, I just finished a meeting with them. We are in touch at all times, and I'm happy that they've shown enough commitment towards this fight. They are ready to support us at all costs, and the kind of collaboration this time around is better and getting us to where we want to be. Luckily for us, people elsewhere are also emulating what we are doing, the better side of what we have. As I speak with you, I have in my office the Sudanese minerals minister, who has visited us to learn our part of small-scale mining management. And we're running them through what we've done so far and what we've achieved. And as a leading gold producer in Africa, I think we need to have the positives to tell the world. And the aspect we're doing now is to fight the Galamsey canker, especially in the red zones that we declared. And quite recently, we made mention that those having all the licenses may go back to work. And people have, jumped in saying there is a blanket statement of, mining everywhere. That is not what we indicated. The indication was that those having registered licenses must go out there to mine as the law stipulates. Irrespective of that, you must also be aware that having a license to mine doesn't mean you can mine haphazardly. Having a license to drive doesn't mean you can ruthlessly get to the road and drive anyhow. You'll be apprehended by the police if you drive anyhow. So the same thing applies to the mining field. If you have the license, you need not to mine close to a river body. You have some parameters that are assigned or enshrined by the policy that we put out there. So we're working closely. There are interventions that we're making. We digitizing the process of even the licensing regime, where minister has also indicated that he's decentralizing the licensing regime to the respective regions, and that, for that matter, even the district, the mining districts. As I speak with you, the law says that it's the minister who has the prerogative to assent to any certification. And for that matter, the bureaucratic, means of getting a license, in a way, puts people in a stranded motion to get things done anyhow and get to the Galamsey motion and just run around with it. So we haven't where it will be easy for people to be licensed if they show, that kind of capacity and availability of concession. Then you'll be given the opportunity to mine according to the established law. So things are being well organized now. We having the alternative, because once we're getting people out of the illegality framework, we need to also provide the alternatives. So government through His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has initiated this alternative livelihood empowerment program that is going to be launched in the first week of September to get people into proper kind of mining situation. So the community mining concept is going to be revamped. Government is in a position to go into green mining. And when I say green mining, I mean getting a commodity monitor machine where the gold could be even gotten without using a mercury. So we have the system or technology that gets gold without the use of mercury, because we are part of the Minamata Convention and we are cautious of the use of mercury, and you know how poisonous mercury is. And that's why most of this recalcitrant gets to the river body. They dump the mercury in the river body. Someone gets to the farm, not without any background of this mercury, get it and drink and continuously get affected. So we mindful of all these, and we put in measures to streamline the mining regime and the mining architecture of this country. So we can't get it wrong this time around. We need to get it right with the support of the Small Scale Mining Association, the support of the good self and other stakeholders. We believe we'll have a serene mining chemistry going forward.
Ms. Miracle Duka, we have our eyes on you. We'll keep knocking at your door until our water bodies are cleared. I want to say thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Miracle Duka is Deputy Lands and Natural Resources Minister.